Sydney Swans coach Paul Roos said this week that the punch that Barry Hall threw that felled Brent Staker in round 4 has been long forgotten. What Paul Roos has forgotten is that footy fans have long memories. And to quote Sir Isaac Newton, for every action, there is always a reaction. Tonight at Subiaco, we get the reaction as the West Coast and Sydney continue their story.
One last roll of the dice for the Eagles! Leo Barry, you star! Step line into the goal square! It's a goal as it was a touch!
And Lachlan has got it, he's goal, and the Swans are back in front! Who would have thought the sequel would be just as good as the original? The West Coast Eagles are the premiers for 2006!
There's Hall off the ball. Oh, Barry Hall has whacked behind play. That is ridiculous, Barry Hall.
For one, the premiership clock is still ticking.
65 out, goes the distance, unloads, and it is raining goals for the Sydney Swans.
The other has been forced to reset.
And the margin is 101 points.
Strap yourself in. Who knows what will happen next?
Looking forward to the contest tonight because these two teams, you know, they're going to have a go.
Well, they're up against a very formidable foe, Darren Glass, a big job for him on O'Loughlin, and there's going to be some good matchups all over the ground.
Brett Jones amongst that, been very good on rebounding half-back. Martin Nicosi gets another chance, and young Houlihan, certainly an exciting play. Good to see him get the opportunity on Ryan O'Keefe, who's one of the hottest players in the competition at the minute.
Lots of blue-collar workers for Sydney in the midfield, but they have a habit of getting the job done. Some good names there for the Eagles. Great to see Kerr back in action, but they do have one gold lining, one superstar in the midfield, the Swans, and that's Adam Goods.
Certainly great play. No reason. The reason why he's won the 2 Brownlows is the ability to run the ball, create and use it, and he uses it very well.
Got some tools up forward, the Eagles. Seaby can spend time there. Allison Lynch, they need the tools to actually take some contested marks.
Well, they're playing the number 1 defensive side in the competition. Quinton Lynch, David Wirapunda, and players down there. Good to see Sammy Butler back, but Brent Staker needs to put in a big performance tonight.
Well, I don't know if the number 19 is officially great. It's not that good a number, but you know what? When you've got a jumper on, you don't really care about the number, Dwayne.
You made it great, Jason. Don't underestimate it. We are underway at Subiaco.
Selwood on Goods, and he's going to go with him hard.
And Goods has gone down hard. Gee, you predicted that well. Goods is still down.
Well, Stenline came through very physical in that contest. Obviously want to exert a lot of physicality West Coast early, as we see there. Missed him.
Yes, but Adam Goods made it look like he got him. Cox in the ruck. He'll be a key tonight. He's in good form. Maybe another All-Australian season coming up, and Adam Goods also back in form, although that handball poor. Embley. Stengline. Little chip kick. Wilkes is okay, although it's cut off by Roberts. Thompson. Half-ridden. Stolen by Seaby. Back in the direction of Nikoski toward goal. Bounces it through. The opener for the West Coast.
Straight up, guys.
They have got a great tradition in recent times, these two. Paul Roos coaching from the box.
Kieran Jack's got the job on Daniel Kerr.
And Brett Jones on Ryan O'Keefe. So we're looking forward to that, Jules. Both players are in All-Australian form.
Slick hands, Selwood, Cox, Kerr, the usual suspects. And the King of Subiaco finishes. And Kerr. He's got a 100% record with his possessions at the moment, though, Wilkes. It's an amazing record. 3 games, and he hits the target every time with them. Fletcher can't hit the target this time. Wirapunda peels back. Richard Swans with the numbers. Wirapunda, little toe poke.
Did well.
Now needs to hit a target. A spear of pass. That's a push or a trip, or take your pick. He got nothing. Selwood caught high, and Selwood will light up
Daniel
to make it 3 goals to 0.
I've got it, Adam. It's in the book.
In the book.
Now, I don't think it was front on, but he certainly made contact to the head. He came from the side. He's got the head over the ball. That's not front on. That's running from the side. But the problem is he did make contact with the head, and that will certainly be looked at very closely, as we heard the umpire say. It's in the book.
And was it Selwood that got him at the opening bounce?
Stengline.
Okay.
I don't think it did a lot of damage either.
No, you'd like to
But
think.
you know what? You stay away from the head. That's the golden rule at the moment.
So he has been booked. Adam Goods, the two-time Brownlow medalist, is in the book. Adam Selwood with a chance to make it a 3-0 start. The crowd enjoying this.
Oh, look at him go.
Wilkes, 60-metre launch. Once again, Wirrapunda stays down, peels back. Might get this. Well read, David Wirrapunda.
And you know what? He knew as soon as he picked up the ball, Brent Staker, that Wirrapunda had taken off Goldwood. That was just a brilliant kick, and you can see teammates going over to Brent Staker now, Jaggo.
Oh, just a fantastic contest. Good vision by Brent Staker. He's had a good start to this quarter. He's really working hard. He's got to continue to do that, but this is scoreboard pressure that we spoke about on West Coast, and not letting Sydney off the hook here, because they can open up a nice little lead here and continue that pressure on their opposition players.
Been 50-50 in front of goal this year, David Wirrapunda. 11 goals, 9. Or 51-49 if you like. 4-0 start for the West Coast. Lewis Roberts-Thompson meets Jones, who simply stood his ground. Roberts-Thompson ran into him, and he bounces up like a rubber ball. Fletcher. No free. Good fist from Barry, according to the umpire. Selwood takes it out. Ball in.
Jason, you would appreciate this. Adam Hunter has barely had a possession, but he's had about 8 different leads, and he's creating the hole in spaces. Fantastic vision here. Fantastic bump. Just held his ground. It was fair.
Free kick will be a West Coast free kick, but too far out for Daniel Kerr to score.
He's going to play on quickly here.
Oh. Big, long launch. That's goal from the superstar. Run.
And Cox as well. Oh, he's missed him.
Embley, short. Stengline, Lynch. Shrugs the tackle with strength. Back to Embley, who ran on. Just gets the kick away. Wirrapunda with the motor. It's a free kick downfield.
Oh, boy.
Well done by Staker there. Drew his play up, forced him to do it.
Against Leo Barry to Brent Staker.
Well, you can't argue. It's clear as day.
We're lucky. We get the benefit of the replay. So we can call it with clarity up here, but the umpire's got to make a split-second decision, and Jacko, you're convinced he made the right one.
Yep.
For a 6-0 start. This game has been turned on its head.
Adam Goods is pushed forward. Selwood's guarding him closely.
Moore forced to punch. Glass. Prittis. Got a handball out. McVeigh. Peter Everett. Ablett gets the snap away. It's all about the bounce. It's across the face. Out of play, Lee Colbert.
This is where Daniel Kerr actually hurt his ankle. He was in a tackle, and as you can see there, he's on the bench. But the tackle come, and he just twists his ankle underneath. There it is, right there.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Curry.
Glass, unfortunately for him. Jude Bolton picks it up and breaks the Swans' drought.
Damn.
Got to go, Staker.
Staker is the man, and he takes the mark regardless. Plays on.
Oh, look at this.
Seaby's all the way back in the goal square. He can play on and goal. First goal of the term for the West Coast. Took them 17 minutes. First goal of the night for Mark Seaby. 45 plays 13. About to tick into time on. Second term. Kirk. Jude Bolton. A wobbler. Good fist from Embley. Barlow. Glass. Dives over it. In a bit of trouble. Jones tried to steal it. Jack does. Kicks to full forward. Everett's down there. Graham. Everett. Kerr. McVeigh. He'll run in. And kick an easy goal. A minute from time. Seaby left it behind. And now O'Keefe thumps it out for De Jones. He can thump it back or find a short pass target. He thumps it. Hunter! Big time break. There goes gravity.
And he seems to always do it against Sydney to produce his best. It's not the first time he's done that.
He had to take a couple of little steps before he took off because he was about to go too early. He had to wait a couple of little steps and then he hung there. That is a beauty, but his last kick for goal was dreadful.
Craig Bolden gave him a nice ladder.
He just
back
needs
straight into that.
A few deep breaths, get a good kick off the boot. This is all about momentum heading into the break.
Sydney. He's edged it through. And the crowd roar. And now Embley should swallow this. Does. Andrew Embley coming off a 31 possession, 16 mark game last week. Having another good day at the office. That was possession number 12. Hand up from Butler, good. Fletcher. Selwood. Open forward line. That kicks a shocker. Marston left it for Braun, caught by two, over it, shuffles it out this time. Gee, he was met too heavily by Henry Playfair, might have been met high. Picked up by Malcheski, he sends it long and goals against the flow.
Daniel Kerr in trouble.
Well, he was met high. Malcheski. From defence.
Nice kick.
Henry Playfair. Dishes up quickly to Lachlan is on his own.
Well,
and can simply go back and kick the goal.
When there's a stoppage or a kick out at the other end, all the West Coast players come up. They have an 18-man zone. And the problem is if you get a good long kick into the middle of the ground and then the ball plays on quickly, this is what happens with forwards sitting back in space. Can O'Loughlin do what Hunter didn't do a moment ago, kick truly and close up the gap?
If he does, it is game on.
Didn't you say at half-time they were home?
Massive kick this for Michael O'Loughlin. He's sprayed it. And he is having an accurate year. 27 goals, 9 coming into this game. Glass, short,
barely.
Nikoski.
He can run with it.
Nikoski sends it long towards the wing. Lynch playing a role now, competing when he can't mark. Buchanan. Kennelly. Craig Bolton. Kerr nearly had him. Short. Buchanan. Handball misses Bevan. Forced to go and get it. Richards.
We've got the numbers.
O'Keefe. Long. Players getting back for the West Coast. Nikoski. O'Loughlin. Good bump. O'Loughlin can run in. Shrugs one and kicks the goal.
Let's have a look at Luke Ablett here. That's just a helicopter that's gone sideways off the instep. A lot of players just don't spend enough time.
Umpire's gone down. He's still down. He's in the middle of it.
He's hurt.
Umpire head. Goods in the meantime. Slips the handball to Buchanan. Back to Goods. Centering kick. Perfect to Kirk. Crowd know it. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. They keep coming, the swap.
How good would that have been?
Unlucky there, Marston. Got it from Davis. Kirk pushes it forward, but Fletcher gets back. Danger here. Kirk about to get run down by Davis. Off hands. Craig Bolton. Glass has gone down. He's hurt. McVeigh shoots the handball. Kirk. They're back in it. In the shadows of three-quarter time. No one to hold him up. Thumps it long. Henry Playfair, big fist from Graham, knocked it down. McVeigh, Jared Moore tucked into the pocket. Well played by Nikoski, didn't push him in the back. Out to behind to start the final quarter. Hunter having a good night so far to Wirrapunda, and now Staker.
Good hands.
Strong.
And needs a big quarter, needs a big last quarter. Didn't have much of an impact in the third.
That one a little wobbly. Selwood might make it okay. Knocked it down. Great tackle by Fletcher on Bolton. He got it up somehow. It's raked out. Kerr. Handball smothered by Wirrapunda. Turnover. Kerr slips a short pass. Hunter gives it off to Wirrapunda. Tucked into the pocket. It's the race pocket. They kicked a million from there.
To see
Well, he takes them on, Richards. They know they've probably got to kick 3 to 4 goals to steal this one, the Swans. Everett.
pushing it back.
Play on advantage. Roberts Thompson. Bounces down the wing. Open forward line. McVeigh is peeling back. He's got it. After a little juggle, but it's a tough kick.
It's a good kick, but at least they forced the Swans wide.
They have to attack this game, Sydney.
No one in the square on Michael O'Loughlin. He is all on his own in the goal square, Michael O'Loughlin.
Now Wilkes gets back. Nice off the boot. It's coming back. Silence tells the story. Ball up. Every clearance vital now. And it's Seaby to go at it with Everett. Everett, a little flick.
Holding the jumper, Daniel Kerr.
Yep.
Daniel Kerr, right out.
He plays on quickly. Seaby peels off. Everett thought it was a Swans free.
Play on.
Hand off to Jones. Stengline, no, but Lynch, yes. Wirrapunda, one-on-one, goal square. I'll try and rush this through the Swans.
Oh, no.
They don't. Staker on the line.
I hope he kicked it before the line. (71-52). So it's 4 or 5 goals, the equation now for the Swans. On the line. Gee. Oh, I tell you what. That's why Richards and also Craig Bolton are saying to the goal umpire, was he over the line?
No, he was on the line.
Normally you just drop it down and tow it through, but he's taken the big swing at it.
Big padding on those posts, mate.
Aren't you a relieved man?
True West Coast Eagles speaking there. Seaby with the clearance. Bouncing ball. Malcheski attacks it well. Takes on Butler. Handball to his own advantage. That was clever. Ablett just as clever. Kick off the side to Goods. Mattner slides it wide. Playfair beaten for it by Graham, who knocks it to Kerr. Hands it back to Playfair. To Kirk. O'Loughlin calls in his direction. Almost but not quite. O'Keefe dives in. Stolen by Bevan. McVeigh can run in. Otherwise it's a goal anyway. This is a classic. Lee Colbert downstairs. Colby.
Yeah, boys, interesting 5 or so minutes for the West Coast Eagles. No Cox or Kerr. Also 38,802 people tonight at the ground.
Well, an important time for the players to stand firm while Cox and Kerr have a much-needed spell and then come on for the last 10 or 12 minutes of the game.
Yep, it's like the Lakers resting Kobe for one last roll of the dice. There he is, Daniel Kerr.
Straight back.
22 possession game for him so far.
And 2 goals. He's been brilliant. 4 clearances.
And Dean Cox coming off a 30 possession game last week. 14 so far tonight. Jude Bolton handed that to Goods. Kick not so Goods. Wilkes. Good fist toward the line. And Buchanan sees it out.
Gee, he's got some work rate, Adam Goods. He's got off to a slow start, but he got his side back into this game and certainly running the game out.
Tackle on Marston. Everett. Shepherd from Goods. Slips a couple of tackles to Jude Bolton. 50 from goal. Slips the pass to Bevan, who kicked the last.
Well, the amazing thing there is everyone ran away from Jude Bolton. Yeah. 2 or 3 Eagles were worried about their opponents. They went back chasing them into the attacking 50, and no one bothered to put the pressure on Jude Bolton. Have a look at this. Marston goes straight by. Another one in the background goes straight by. He's got all the time in the world to sit back and find a teammate.
self-survival in that situation. You mind your own man, so he doesn't do that. Kick the goal, turn away to Bevan in the Swans.
He moved sideways and he shaped the hand pass.
But Ryan O'Keefe had his arm around, so it's
why wasn't he pulling back from the man on the mark?
Yeah, he should have been 50.
He's got his back to play.
Graham, front spot. Cox bumped Jolly out of it. Jolly was hoping for a free, didn't get it. Jones.
Best thing for West Coast would be to kick a goal. They can't just save the game. They've got to keep attacking. They've got to take it on.
They continue to go in their forward 50 like they've done the last 3 or 4 times. They won't, Jason, because they're just kicking to Spider Everett or Jolly.
Staker, Slick to Wirrapunda to Hunter, bumped by Kirk. That wasn't Brett Kirk-like.
No, but that's inexperience. That's Kirk getting caught in defence on a tall forward, feeling the need to make body contact, not reading the play.
Hunter will need to pinpoint a pass here, you would think.
They just can't keep bombing it long.
He tries to pinpoint 1-2. The man with the strong hands, Lynch, didn't hold it, but he gets the free.
We've been critical a couple of times tonight, Jacko, because he hasn't kicked the goal they've needed under pressure. Well, if ever they needed some breathing space and they needed Quentin Lynch to stand up, this is it here. This is it right now. It's a regulation kick for him. Distance, no problem. It's pretty much on the edge of the corridor, so no great angle.
Just the one behind tonight, Quentin Lynch.
The crowd will tell us very early.
That's what he has ahead of him. Full house at Subiaco. Bang. There's a lot of love in the room now. From 50, he more than just hooks it, almost misses everything. A behind, but even behinds at this stage of the game are handy.
Yeah, but they'll rue some of these misses if they don't get home, the Eagles.
It's still outside 2 goals, this lead right now. 11-12 to 9-10. Bevan, Richards.
They've caught them napping here.
Oh, Quentin Lynch. We've talked all night about his 1%ers. Kennelly, Bevan, Kennelly. And now Craig Bolton.
Got to keep the pressure up.
Kirk. And now Lewis Roberts-Thompson to the open side. Embley hunting him down, holds him up. McVeigh leads short. That's ignored. We've ticked into time on, final term. Jude Bolton and Fletcher.
That's an odd decision to kick to a contest wide with Jude Bolton when he had a couple of good hit-up leads. It was a strange decision from Lewis Roberts-Thompson, but pressure makes players make odd decisions.
These 2 teams just keep turning it on. Jones dragged down by McVeigh, and the umpire Chris Donlan will ball it up. Paul Roos, who's coached from the bench all night, in between whistling at quarter time and wishing Lee Colbert happy birthday at 3/4 time. Big pack around this ball up. It's only 12 players not around this ball up, and Goods with the don't argue. Hands off to Ablett. They haven't given it up yet.
Great smother.
Smother ricochets toward Braun. Kirk. Good tackle. He ducked low. Stolen by Ablett. Slick handball between players. Buchanan from 40 keeps them alive. Eamon Buchanan's down at centre half forward.
Yeah, and he was going for an Academy Award too, and the umpire was right onto it. He said no, absolutely not. A little bit of contact, he went down like a bag of, no free kick.
Well, in some sports you act like that, you get a free against you. 78 plays 70. It's an 8-point ball game. We're 23 minutes in, final term. Kirk kicks it off the deck. Wilkes, a handball in hope. Pritis made it look okay, but dragged down. Pack forms. Pritis again extracts it to half forward. Butler, his return tonight has been good. Back to Pritis. Work rate spectacular. Hunter hands it up. Fletcher chips it wide. Braun hands to it, but not the mark. Rakes it in. Caught. Gets it out. Ablett
broke 2 tackles.
Jolly. And he thumps it long. Jack and Kerr. Good battle. Kerr. Spectacular again. Jack just as good with a tackle. O'Keefe Magna, Kirk, Jack. Got up, kicks it long. Adam Goods. Good spoil by Selwood. Out of play, a win for him. Inside 5 minutes to full time. And a pat on the head from Darren Glass.
He's fought back strongly, Adam Goods, to be a good player tonight, 21 possessions, but just a couple of times he tends to favour playing for the free kick. We've got blood here. You got to go, Eamon Buchanan. You're on your way.
Everyone catches their breath. Eamon Buchanan bleeding from the cheek.
A nice one.
And a gutsy little player, Eamon Buchanan, will play his 100th game next week against the Saints at the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's game number 99 for him.
A breather won't hurt the West Coast Eagles. They've given their all tonight, but they're looking a slightly tired outfit. A little bit more run in the legs of the Swans.
Jolly and Cox with the palm. Goods must let that go to play for the free. Ball up. Clock stops. 4:36. Cox and Jolly Tyre. Down to Jared Moore. Kicks it across the face. But suddenly a draw is one of the options.
Bit of inexperience there by Ryan Davies.
There must have been a miscommunication because Dean Cox tapped it straight there.
7-point ball game. 4 minutes 27 left.
Again, they can't run the clock down. Oh, this is a good setup here.
Embley to Braun, who can hold or go. He goes. Staker's short. Richards is with him. No push in the back.
Should have been.
Braun lays the tackle. Richards tucked up against the line. Slips it through Staker. Ablett got the handball up. Prentice. Bouncing ball. Stengline missed it. Kirk didn't. Hands it up to Kennelly. Takes on Hunter. Hands it up again. Bevan, chip kick. Adam Goods lurking inside 50. Sees the Sharon, wants it badly. Slaps it out. Maltreski! It's a 1-point ball game.
Oh boy.
Adam Goods said a couple of weeks ago the Indigenous Australians were born to play this game. He was accused of making a racist comment, but it was no more racist than saying the French make great chefs or the Germans make great cars. They are born to play, all right. And Goods has turned it on tonight. Fletcher to Cox.
What is left in the legs of the West Coast Eagles?
Sends it along. Hunter hunting it down. Tucked against the line. That's the race pocket. And he can't dribble it behind, which would have been handy.
Oh, he just had to get it over to
he went the miracle.
Tyson Stengline. Tyson's asked him the question. He just had to pop it over. I mean, it's not a bad result because you'd rather an out of bounds than a point because they got a chance to create something here.
Cox front spot appeared to be held. Umpire not buying it. Get a ball up.
Everyone in the West Coast Eagles half of the ground. There's two pairs up in the centre square. The rest are in the forward 50.
Cox thumps it down.
Oh,
Selwood
taken high.
No free.
Ducked into it. And the pressure's on the umpires as well because one decision could be crucial in this game.
Well, a loss here would absolutely end the West Coast season.
Be heartbreaking for West Coast.
Because they led by 6 goals at half-time if you just joined us.
Look at Goods.
Davis tackled by Goods. And the Sydney-born and bred boy takes it out of play for the West Coast.
But Davis was good too. He attacked it and he rode the tackle. He had to trap that ball.
Back into play. Cox and Kerr stand around it. Kerr is Shepherd. Fletcher. Ball out of play. We're down to 2:45. 1 point the margin. Kerr barking instructions.
They've got to kick another goal, West Coast, to get home.
Prentice and Kirk. O'Keefe. Kirk out of play on the full. West Coast free. Prentice to take it. The new superstar of this midfield, Matt Prentice. Can go backwards if he wants to, but he thumps it to 50. 6 players fly. Ablett stays down. Bevan left it behind. Staker picks it up. Doesn't know what's at full forward. Thumps it long. It's out of play on the full.
He's got to get
that. It's a Swans ball.
Under pressure, the mistakes players make, we highlight them. It's easy sitting here in the box, but now a clean possession, and look at Sydney making the play.
Well, they've won some heartbreak against
That's 50. That's 50. He anticipated the play on, and the umpire hadn't called it.
They have won some heartbreakers, the Swans. 1 point the margin, the umpire will bring it back. Yet the seconds continue to tick, and we've seen this a number of times. The seconds should not have been ticking there. The umpires bring it back. The clock must stop.
There are some tired Eagles trying to get behind the play. And look at this is just poor. This is poor.
Malcheski, bouncing ball, 70 from goal. It might come down to this pass. It might come down to this kick at goal. From 45, it's wide. And he's missed everything, but he could have tied the scores.
How does a bloke that's had the most possessions on the ground, 28, stand all on his own on one side of the ground and no one mans him up? That is an extraordinary let-off for West Coast.
How does he miss everything in that circumstance? Glass, well, he can't rush it behind now.
He has to.
He can't. Oh! He knew he couldn't. Boundary line looming. We'll get a ball in.
That is extraordinary.
Well, he couldn't rush it behind there.
No, but what about the kick from Embley? Boy.
Back into play. Clock ticks again. High on Jude Bolton. The umpire said ducked.
Oh, thank you, Adam. No, yeah. Okay.
Someone yelled duck. Umpire Kennedy gave the free. Did he duck?
Well, he did duck, but then he got taken high and ripped off the ball, so he really had no option but to pay the free kick, the umpire.
To either tie the scores or give the Swans the lead. I haven't led all night.
Kicked it.
They lead now. It comes down to this. They have not seen the lead all night, the Sydney Swans. 32 minutes into the final term, they take the lead. Jolly, Fletcher, Braun, Jack. No one home for Sydney. It'll be a West Coast ball with 1 minute left. Wilkes needs to hit a target.
He's got to run it up. He's got to take as much space as he possibly can and get it up there with pace.
Jones, the players know how long left. They've all been told. Runners went out. O'Loughlin, he can milk some seconds here.
Poor option from Brett Jones.
He can milk 15 at least.
They just haven't had the composure to get the job done, West Coast.
They'll hold on.
Yep.
They'll maintain possession.
West Coast have got to man up.
And it's got Goods.
They're not manning up.
He can go back to Adam Goods and he knows it. And he goes all the way back to Matner. Punda, spoil. Matner takes them on inside 30 seconds. It's all about this kick. Leo Barry. They led by 6 goals at half-time, the West Coast Eagles. The Sydney Swans did not kick a goal in the opening term. A 6-0 opening term for the West Coast. And this will break their season. Cox slaps it down. You'll feel the heartbreak. A full house at Subiaco in tears, but jubilation for the Sydney Swans. The silence tells the story. This one's been stolen 12-11-83 to 11-12-78. These two grand contenders of the last few years have played out another classic at Subi. Lee Colbert downstairs with Paul Roos.
Roosy, how do you explain that?
It's pretty hard to. Look, we had a really good second half. They had a really good first half, and I think it's one of those games we just happened to be in front at the right time. I mean, It's a good goal by Jude. We lifted after half-time. They were outstanding in the first half. So I guess the history books will continue to say that the West Coast Sydney games are pretty good games.
You boys just kept coming. You're unbelievable, and it just felt like you had the belief especially in that second half.
Yeah, look, we spoke at half-time. I mean, they were all over us in the first half, and what tends to happen then, they've expended a lot more energy than we have because they played a lot better. So we just need to dig in and win the footy a bit, control the tempo a bit more, and obviously three-quarter time we thought we were a bit of a chance, but you never know.
Some great individual efforts. Kirky's effort in that third quarter and certainly in the last, and Kieran Jack did some amazing things, especially around the stoppages.
Yeah, look, when you're not playing well, you need certain guys to lift, and I thought guys like Kirky, Goodsy really lifted. And that's what you need. You need individuals to lift and stand up, and I thought, some of our guys did that.
Nothing in that. Goodsy's one, is there?
No, I didn't see it.
Well played.
Paul Roos downstairs with Lee Colbert. Small contingent of Sydney Swan fans here. Adam Goods, if you have just joined us, had his number taken in the opening term. He might get lucky with it. We'll show you again as we wrap this game up. But Adam Goods tonight, another 21 possession night. He started brilliantly, had a quiet second term, but turned it on again in the second half. And the Sydney Swans continue to surge in 2008. And their chances of finishing in the top four and maybe winning another flag enhanced by an inspirational victory away from home against the odds at Subiaco again tonight. And they acknowledge their fans. And gentlemen, we need to take a breath as well. This has been one grand contest to watch.
It certainly has. You've got to give credit to Sydney. They don't know how to give up. West Coast, their hearts are broken. They did everything they possibly could. They missed a couple of opportunities in front of goal. Sometimes that's all it is. And I think we're going to go down to Lee Colbert with a man that ran himself into the ground and turned things around in the second half. Colby, who have you got?
Goodsy, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, it takes us back to the qualifying final we had over here against the Eagles where we won it in the dying seconds. But, to be 6 goals down at half-time and to turn it around the way we did, just as a group, no individuals, the way we all dug in deep in that last half, I thought was fantastic.
Well, you've done it plenty of times, that's the thing, but you've just got such belief in the side. And you mentioned half-time, Roosie obviously got together with the boys, but it comes from within.
Yeah, it is that self-belief in what we're doing out there. And we knew in the first half we weren't playing the footy we knew we could play, and that second half really typifies what we're about at the Swans, and it was just great to get over the line.
Your form's slowly getting better, mate. Your body's obviously standing up. You're feeling much better and going into the second half of the year. Yeah,
it's great to come over here in the open spaces of Subi and to get back next week, play a home game in Sydney. It's just good to be playing good footy at the moment, and the team, the way we're playing is really great.
Mate, thanks very much for your time. All the very best.
Happy birthday, mate.
Everyone knows his birthday.
Adam Goods wishing him happy birthday. The two-time Brownlow medalist will have an interesting and maybe nervous 48 hours waiting to see how the match review panel view that head-high hit.
He's a popular boy, our Colby, and I think he's about to grab the man that might have kicked the goal that won the game for the Sydney Swans, Jude Bolton. Back to you, Colby.
Match winner, mate. Kicking winning goals at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's good to get a little cheap free kick late in the game, mate, but it was refreshing, but I was pretty happy to kick it, yeah.
How were you feeling going back, knowing that you're obviously a point down, but a major put you in front?
Oh, yeah, I was hoping I'd just get it clean off the boot and go straight, that's all, but Goodsy sort of settled me down, and yeah, straight through, so I was all right.
Great effort by the lads, especially after half-time. They were amazing.
Yeah, we were disgraceful in the first half, and Roosie really got stuck into us, and we were just so disappointed the way we'd started, but that's the character of the group to really dig deep.
Well done, enjoy the night.
Thanks, Cheers.
Jude Bolton, game 198 for him tonight. Play his 200th in a couple of weeks against the Demons in Canberra, and he has been a grand campaigner for the blood-stained Angels, who win away from home tonight. Found the spirit and found the 4 points somehow after the West Coast Eagles appeared to have them 36 points up at half-time, and I thought I heard Glenn Jakovic say
you won't let me off the hook, you blokes.
I thought I heard him say that they were home.
The word was home, right? It has been heartbreaking. Look, we heard Jude Bolton just then say they were disgraceful in the first half. They weren't great in the first half, but let's not take credit away from the West Coast Eagles. That's some of the best football they've played in 2008. They probably did what you'd think was enough to deserve a win, but against a quality side like Sydney, they just have a habit of pulling rabbits out of the hat, and they did it again.
And we'll follow them down for the song.
but a victory like that now, Jason, some predicted that Sydney would slide this year. They've been in good form. A victory like that now knows that they will play September action this year, and they've got to rate themselves a chance to be a smoky, because that type of play, knowing the circumstances,
I don't think they're a smoky, Cheddar. I think they're in the open. Everyone knows they're coming because we know they're so good at this caper.
St Kilda and Melbourne in the next 2 weeks as well. Sydney Swans victorious by 5 points, 11-12 to 12-11. We'll be back to wrap up at Subiaco straight after this.
Good evening.